You know what I like about these conferences is that so often when you're introducing a speaker, the question is how brief can you make it and still get the job done. And I've done a little public speaking myself, and I always liked it when they let my speech do the introduction, and that's what I like about these. If you don't know these people's names beforehand, time they get through talking to you, you'll know who they are. So our first speaker this morning is Alex Collier, and my notes say here that Alex has been a contactee since he was 8 years old. He has been communicating face-to-face and telepathically with the human race from the constellation of Andromeda in our galaxy. These beings have been taught Earth history, future probabilities, and self-responsibility. So let's give him our very careful attention. Oh, here he is. Here's Alex.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning, Denver. We're going to have a brief prayer here, so I'm going to have Mike Russ come up and introduce the gentleman who's going to be doing a unique prayer to be very different for all of us. Hold on, please.
This is Paul Sheff. He has been here before. He knows Egyptian history. He can read Egyptian and ancient literature. He's going to do a reverse prayer to keep all negative out and the positive in. Oh, and he wants complete silence.
Good morning, everybody. What I want you to do as I prepare this, I want you to kind of mentally visualize the sun entering everybody's body like it's purification, and this is what will make this prayer work very well. Awa ubena emnen keferu kua keferu en kefere septeki shetu satutka en herak neteru amentet akiu. Thank you.
Thank you. That was cool. Mike, you need to move this.
Yeah.
Good morning. How many folks here have heard me speak at other functions, other global sciences? How many are here for the first time hearing about myself and other extraterrestrial information? Okay, a lot of new people. That's great. That's great. I'm not going to spend any time going into my whole story. If you have internet access, you can go to www.lettersfromandromeda.com, and there is a wealth of information there, including a book which you can download called Defending Sacred Ground. It is no longer in print, but you can download it for nothing off the internet. This morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to ET22. The premise of the Andromedan contacts with me, and I'm not the only one, there are 3 others currently to date in the world, was to teach us the correct history of who we are. And that essentially involves the fact that we, as a planetary race, are the sum total of the genetics of 22 different extraterrestrial races. In a nutshell, extraterrestrials have been colonizing Earth for a very, very, very long time, millions and millions of years. They've been coming here. This information, this knowledge has been suppressed because it doesn't fit the box that they've all tried to stick us in. And they've mated with a lot of the women of our world. And they've left offspring. And we're going to talk a lot about that. And I only have 40 minutes or so because I'm sharing the stage with Mike Russ, who has something he wants to share. So what I'm going to do this morning, and I'll go into great depth in this in the workshop, is I'm going to share with you some bullets from Earth-taught history going back to the Precambrian era and the extraterrestrial history of Earth and our solar system. Okay, so I'm going to go through this really quick, and I'm going to be showing you some slides, transparencies, as we talk about this. Is there any way to turn off these lights a little bit? There we go. Okay, our solar system. They talk about Earth, how Earth formed, but they really don't talk about the solar system. That's because science doesn't really know. They don't really know how all the planets got here. They don't even know how they formed because they still don't know what some of them are. Saturn and Jupiter. It's all theory as to what they are. Okay, and I want you to know that the formation of Earth is also theory. Even though they expound it and speak of it as if it's fact. Okay? Earth history. We're told that 4.5 billion years ago the Earth began to form as a result of activities going on, molten lava, the creation of gravity, planetary bodies, pulling things together and forming planets. Again, folks, this is all theory. Okay? Earth formed along with other planets in the solar system. Earth was being born. Life awakened. The first tectonic plates arose and began to move. Fungi, planets, mammals and organisms, animals and organisms developed. The atmosphere becomes enriched with oxygen. This is what we're taught about in school about Earth. Now, here's the extraterrestrial perspective based on what I've been taught. An ancient race known as the Founders. Okay, this comes from the Andromedans, who are a fifth density race that are approximately 4,500 years technologically more advanced than us and 51,000 years spiritually more advanced than we are. An ancient race known as the Founders, who the Andromedans refer to as the Patal, is believed to be very involved in the engineering program whereby the environments of planets, which are already here, are altered to make them suitable and hospitable for life. The rendering of ecosystems to hydrogen, oxygen, methane, and ammonia for the introduction and colonization of microorganisms, nanites, and all types of life forms, self-replicating machinery, and the bombardment by comets, planetoids, to change the rotation and chemistry of planets. The practice and engineering of removing moons to alter planets' rotations and moving planets closer and further from their suns to either increase or decrease the radiation from the suns. All these projects, it appears, were designed to render many star systems in our galaxy, suitable for and planetary bodies habitable for organic life. Small machines have been discovered that were built so long ago as to be ageless. Amazingly, these machines still work to this day. These machines are capable of building molecule by molecule, which then in turn creates atom by atom, which creates physicality. These machines were used to create complex and advanced building systems, larger machines, and these machines were also used to build ecosystems, planetary biosphere ecosystems. Now, how many of you are familiar with the Star Trek, I think it's Star Trek 3 or Star Trek 4, the Genesis machine? Okay, that is a reality. That's a reality. Okay, according to these advanced extraterrestrial races. They do not know how these machines were built, and they cannot duplicate them to this day. Now, this is 4.5 billion years ago. So just imagine how advanced this race, this founder race, is, or was then, and what it is today. Earth-like organic life is much less common than hydrogen, methane, or ammonia gas ecosystems in our galaxy. This is because Earth-like carbon and oxygen life forms are solely dependent on the geological presence of water. So, to life forms like ourselves, the most precious resource is water.